can't seem to freaking get the right lighting. Oh, look at my highlight. Wow. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a very long time. The last time I did a video was like literally centuries ago, and I kind of gave up on YouTube after that because I was just going through some things, aren't we all? But I'm really trying to just like take YouTube very seriously because a lot of people are like, Jasmine, you have the personality, you can get far. And I know I can, and I just have to have that constant drive. I have a couple questions that I'm going to answer about just self-love and happiness and relationships and breakups and all that great, beautiful, wonderful stuff. And I posted it on Instagram and I got a lot of questions, and I am so excited to answer them. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. For the first question, I have, what is self-love to you? Now, I should be the last person over here to preach the choir about self-love because I haven't loved myself in what seems like my whole life. I struggled with self-image and, you know, self-esteem issues just because I just didn't feel like I was the prettiest. The people that I surrounded myself with and the boyfriends that I had at the time didn't really make it any better. They actually made it worse, so it made my self-esteem even worse. But new day, new era, new year, new me. This year has come with a lot of lessons, and I have probably learned how to love myself better than I ever have in a very long time. That being said, self-love, like what it means to me, is just doing the things that you love, like recognizing that you're an imperfect person with flaws, right? And you're unique, you know, just kind of really taking in all the flaws that you have, all your uniqueness, everything. Like example for me, like I love to do abstract art. I like to do journaling. I like to read books. I like to creative write. I like to sing. I like to play the piano. I like to watch movies. Like these are things that I started to really embrace about myself that I didn't really embrace about myself before, because either the significant other that I was with wasn't interested in the same things, or my group of friends didn't really relate to me on that level of, you know, books and this and that. So I never really got a chance to really love that side of me. But yeah, self-love to me is just, you know, loving yourself, loving who you are, loving who you stand for, loving your flaws, just loving you entirely. And once you can accept yourself for who you are and obviously change some things that need to be changed, you will learn to love yourself more and more for the growth, for the change, and for the mistakes that you make, as much as you might irritate yourself sometimes. It's not necessarily about image and looking in the mirror and being able to be like, oh, I'm so bad, like I'm such a cutie. Like, it's not necessarily that. Obviously that kind of stuff will come later, but it's just really about being confident in you and what you do and what you like and what you stand for. And if you can accept yourself, you know, the inside of yourself, you'll be able to accept everything else that comes with it. Second question is, forgiveness is key in life. How do you feel about that? See, okay, I can't really sit here and preach and say, oh, you need to forgive, because if you don't, you're gonna blah, blah, blah. I don't know, okay? Forgiveness is definitely key because you want to move on from the situation. It's not necessarily about the other person. It's really about you. And what I've really learned these past couple of weeks is, you know, you really need to find it within yourself to be like, honestly, despite everything that's happened, despite what you've done to me, I forgive you. And it's not to give the person closure or to give that person freedom or make them feel free. It's to kind of free yourself from that so that you can move forward and be like, okay, like, you know, I'm no longer holding on to this grudge. Because trust me when I tell you, holding grudges is a lot of freaking work. And there's some people out here that could probably hold grudges for years and they don't really feel it. It's just kind of like, if I see you, I'm not talking to you. But for me, I know personally, like, if somebody does me wrong, I used to be the type that used to hold grudges for years. But recently, like, you know, kind of like meditating and learning more about myself, I was like, honestly, I need to let it go, because every single day that I'm using all that energy to harbor all of this hatred and anger towards this one person, they don't even notice it. They're kind of living their life, doing their thing, and it's not really affecting them. It's affecting me. And it'll stunt your growth, and, you know, you'll feel like you're taking 2 steps back instead of 3 steps forward. And it's just a real growth process. In order to be a woman, a man, a freaking adult, okay? You need to learn how to let yourself move forward. You need to let things go. And if you can't let it go, like, you know, obviously everybody lets go of things as time goes by, but if you don't let it go, you're going to be stuck in the same place, doing the same thing, meeting the same people, getting hurt in the same way. But if you accept what was done to you, forgive them, and move on, you will now know what to expect, what to see, and kind of avoid it from happening ever again. Our third one is, how do you feel about long distance relationships, and have you ever been in one? It obviously depends on the distance. I have never been in a long distance relationship, like across the world or 3 hours ahead or 3 hours behind. Like, I've never been in that kind of relationship. I've been in a relationship where we lived an hour away. It wasn't really even a relationship, but like, you know, we were kind of talking, and it was basically a relationship, no title, but like I dated someone that was an hour away. In those instances, it's not hard. You know, if you're loyal, truthful, and honest, and you really, really like this person, that distance won't really bug you. What would really get me upset or kind of agitated sometimes is that I would really want to go and see him, or I'd want to go see him on my own time, kind of like go take the bus and go down the road. But it was a whole 2 hours by bus, and it was just really, really discouraging because he didn't really have time to come up. I didn't really have time to go down. School, it can get really frustrating. But if you're patient with each other and you really, really love each other, that time that you guys spend apart or away from each other, and that will really make the times that you come together even more beautiful and peaceful and wonderful and enjoyable, because you guys missed each other so much. It really just depends on you as a person. If you feel like you need to, you know, be dependent on that energy where you're seeing the person all the time or close to always, then long distance relationships probably won't be for you, and either one of you will probably end up cheating. Because I know that I used to be the, like, you know, needy kind. I would always want to see my ex. Like, I'd always want to see him. And it would upset me when I didn't. So, you know, long distance relationships for me was, in that time, not so great. Until I learned to kind of, you know, appreciate the time we spent apart and enjoy the time when we were together. Number 4 is 3 pieces of advice for someone seeking to be happy. We all want to freaking be happy. Like, things happen in life where it's like, what the shit is going on? Why do I have to go through this? Why is this happening to me? And honestly, you know, most of our life, we're not really that happy because we have so many freaking things happening at one time. So I'm going to say 3 pieces of advice for someone seeking to be happy. Do what you love yourself, and depend on you. Depending on yourself is so, so important. You cannot depend on anybody else. I don't care if you have a man, if you don't have a man, if you're single, if you're married. Do not depend on anybody else but yourself, because at the end of the day, you're going to get disappointed. I have had expectations of people. I have depended on other people, significant others, friends, and I've been let down every time. And not to say that it was bad for those people to let me down. It's just I had to learn how to depend on me instead of depending on others to make me happy. The 5th one is, if you know you messed up, but it's something that can be fixed with communication and effort, do you think it's right to allow that person to prove to you that he or she is serious? I'm attached and it sucks, but if that person does not allow it, did they really care? So if you know you messed up in a relationship, because everybody does, I'm going to try and use my personal experience. I've messed up in my past relationships before, whether it was, you know, being disrespectful, whether it was lying, whether it was cheating, whatever it was, I've messed up. And if you know that it can be fixed with communication or can be fixed with effort, communicate that to your significant other or the person that you are in a friendship or relationship with. Just say, hey, listen, I know this can be fixed. I know that with effort and communication, like, I'm willing to put in the 100% and I really want to make this work. If they say no, then you can't force anything on anybody. You're just going to have to kind of turn away from that, take your lesson and be like, okay, now for next time, I know not to do this. Or for next time, I know how to put boundaries in or to do this or to whatever it is that you did wrong. You will be able to fix it in your own way, not maybe with the person, but with somebody else. And although it might be really upsetting because you're attached and you want to be with that one person, you're gonna have to move on, because wasting your time and whiling away your time and crying over the same person and how they don't want to give you a chance is all that time you could have been working on yourself and finding somebody else that really actually cares about you and can, you know, treat you the way you deserve to be treated. If the person does not allow you to put in that effort, it doesn't mean that they didn't really care. It depends on how long you guys were together. Like, time is a factor, and what you did is a factor. If usually some people, when they get hurt once, they don't want to get hurt again, and they'll kind of revert and take 2 steps back, fall back, and be like, listen, you did me down, you did me wrong once, I can't do this again. And you're gonna have to just respect that. It doesn't mean that they don't necessarily care about you, but they're just taking time to realize what they need and stepping back, which means that you should also do the same. How to be happy single. These questions all really tie into the same thing. Be happy. Do things that you probably wouldn't have done when you were in a relationship. Go out, have fun. I'm not necessarily, talking do drugs, have sex, and do whatever the hell you want, but, have fun in moderation. Making new friends, having a new group of friends, going out to dinner with some girls. I don't know, like things that make you happy, things that would divert your mind from anything else. And sometimes being single can be very, very lonely, and you might want somebody to cuddle with, especially because Valentine's Day is coming up. But in those times, you need to say, you know what, I'm better off by myself. So to be happy single, again, it ties into self-love. You need to take that time of being single to love yourself, and you will be happy. If a relationship is broken, can it be fixed? I have heard so many stories of people that have cheated on another, lied to one another, disrespected one another, and they're married. Okay? It is not impossible. Just because it might, not to say just because it might be toxic or anything, but like, if a relationship is meant to be, everyone has this impression that it's going to be so easy, it's going to just gel together because it's God's plan or because it's fate, whatever you believe in. That's not true. Every relationship has its own problems, and you're going to have to really work if you want to make it work. You guys might know that you guys are meant for each other, but there's a lot of work to be done within the relationship. You guys just need to be ready to fix it, no matter what it is. But don't deny yourself of being happy, thinking that it's not gonna work. I am so excited that you guys actually gave me questions. I was really impressed that I actually got a couple, because usually I don't, and it just really made me feel really, really happy. So I'm so excited, and yeah, so this is the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm going to be posting another video next Friday or next week. I'm not sure about what yet, but I'll put up a poll on my Instagram, which is the same as my YouTube name, which is Za Radiance. And yeah, I'm so happy and excited to start this new journey with YouTube and keep on going, because I know that this will benefit a lot of people. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a terrific Thursday.